Yes, we're back.
So let's just address the elephant in the room. Yes, we are currently sponsored by one of the largest grocers on the planet. We're not going to get into the exact details of who yet.
It was a big
number. Brand. You probably know about them.
Big number we settled on. It was. I'm not going to say the number specifically, but it was
it's in the billions, guys. Okay, they're paying us a lot of money to promote them, so you're going to see some promos soon.
Up front, high seven figures. Back end, billions. I'm not going to say the exact number, but it rhymes with it starts with an E and ends with T. So
you guys, let's just say we're not going to come out and tell you guys that we made a lot of money, but there will be signs. We'll be wearing certain merchandise. We'll be saying certain things to do with this branding deal. So be on the lookout for that, guys.
There's a lot of podcasters that sell out for their sponsors, and we're not those guys. We'll never do that.
We make sure
true to the brand.
We make sure that the sponsorships we accept are high quality, like all the groceries you'll find at Lidl. Shop Lidl.
Shop Lidl.
So, what do we want to talk about today?
I want to talk about Chopped Men.
Chopped Men, the Chopped Men epidemic. This is really interesting. There's some social media content going around about Chopped Men.
But I think that, it's pretty much, I'm sure unless you live under a rock, you know what a chopped man is. Chopped is this term to refer to people who are like chopped, ugly, whatever. Not a nice word, but it is what it is.
Ugly. I want to preface and say I don't believe in ugly people.
I don't either. I believe in people who haven't put effort in to their appearance, which is another thing I want to start called Handsome Academy. We're going to get that going soon. We're going to launch it on the Patreon. It's going to be a 10-part series on how to be good looking, because being handsome is a mindset. It's not a physical thing.
It is. It has nothing to do with the way you look, honestly.
It's the way you feel.
You've seen the pictures of Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Before he had the money.
Before he went to Handsome Academy.
Yeah, Ronaldo enrolled. He's actually a student of mine.
Student of ours.
Back in the day, and look at him now.
By the way, these socks, guys, say Lidl on them. How sick is that?
Yeah, but if you guys can see it, it actually says, I don't have the flexibility, but it says
Lidl. I'm an athlete.
On the socks.
But, but chopped men, chopped women. I'm going to be real with you. It is a real thing, but it's not just chopped men, and it's chopped both genders. Like, there's men and women that all go to the club, they go to the bar wearing sweatpants, pajamas, slides, like putting some effort into your appearance. So first off, let me just clarify. Sweatpants in public shouldn't be a thing. I don't know why that's a thing. I think it looks bummy.
I think that the only sort of sweat athletic wear you should wear is a tracksuit. Lidl sells tracksuits, actually. Shop Lidl. But I think that's acceptable based on the look.
Yeah, these are fly as hell, I will say. 100%.
I'm not going to lie. I would love to be seen out in public in my Lidl official tracksuit.
We got to get some screen surgery merch like this,
I'm on the tracksuit wave. I fucking love the way.
I want to get a watch, too. I need to get a watch. I don't want to drop bread on a watch, obviously. I never would do that. But I want like a nice, fancy watch. Or I'm sorry, not fancy. I want to be like silver and like thin. Because I got an Invicta right now. That shit's big on my wrist.
Watches have just never really been a priority for me.
Yeah. I mean, some people like spend serious money on them. I just wouldn't ever.
Yeah, that's not something
I'd rather buy things that could make me money. Like,
there's people who they spend like $10,000 on like a watch. And I'm like, do you know like the camera rig you could have got for that price? Do you know the computer you could have bought for that price? You could make a whole freaking movie for $10,000 and you spent it on your wrist.
Yeah.
But then again, who am I? If you got the bread to do that,
News. I am now a selling artist. I made 2 paintings. One's called Raw Passion. One is called Death in the Woods. No. One is called, holy shit, not Death in the Woods. One is called Man in the Woods. But they are.
Aren't you going to the woods very soon?
Yeah, that's creepy. I'm taking a trip upstate. But they're. Let me grab one. I have one here actually.
So we are going to show some of the artwork to you guys now, and we're going to get your feedback. Maybe we'll even run some polls, see what you guys think.
My other piece, Raw Passion, sold for $500. That's not a joke, by the way. It actually sold. And this is Man in the Woods. That's an original Quinn Moore, people.
Guys, this is a one-of-one as well. And if you're not familiar with the term, one-of-one is you have a one-of collection. So there could be one of 500, one of 10,000, or one-of-one, meaning it's the only piece like that.
Let me correct you. It's actually a one of 2 in the collection. There's Man in the Woods, which is this one, and then there's Raw Passion, which already sold.
But there's not 2 of Raw Passion. There's only one Raw Passion, and there's only one Man in the Woods.
And Raw Passion's already gone, and that'll probably end up in a museum.
So this is a one-of-one. That at least triples your value.
This is part of my Sex Donkey collection.
So, guys, Sex Donkey is it's a very intimate collection.
It's very intimate. It's very personal.
A lot of time.
So if you want this, let me know, and we'll start. The bidding starting at $6,100. Whew. Anything else happening in the news?
Yeah, ICE is just taking everybody all the time. How do you feel about that? What are some of your thoughts on the ICE situation, I guess you could call it?
I think summer's here, and I think that it's time for ice to melt. That's what I think. It's time for ice to melt.
Time for ice to melt.
No, I mean, I get it. Illegal immigration's bad, and you got to come in the right way. And I think that you do have to do something about it. Obviously, a humane way. I don't like seeing families get separated, and I think it's kind of. I think that the way that they're going about it right now is, in many ways, cruel. And I think that anybody who's standing up against it, for the most part, is coming from a place of compassion, and I can't get mad at someone for that. Rioting, protesting's fine, but rioting and burning things down is never acceptable, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, across the board, I just noticed
it's a really shit situation across the board.
Yeah, I mean, on both sides, everything inevitably leads to explosions and fires and guns.
I don't fault anybody for standing up that they don't think is right what's going on, because, by the way, being an illegal immigrant is a civil offense. Therefore, it's the same as getting a parking ticket. But they're being treated like criminals. And the administration's come out and said they're criminals. They're actually not criminals. They're basically people with a parking ticket that's past due. So they shouldn't be treated like animals. No human should, by the way. So yeah, I don't know.
And how do you feel about Gaza and Israel and Iran and just everyone being blown the fuck up at all times?
That sucks too. That sucks. Did you see the video of the guy dancing out in California?
No, I saw a video of the Israel missile strikes though, and somebody put the Costco guy song "We Bring the Boom" over it.
Yeah.
So it's just like a rocket flying towards like an embassy, and they're like, "We bring the boom."
That is
fucked up, but I did laugh.
We bring the boom. Well, Israel's getting a little payback now. Iran has been blowing them up. You know about that?
Yeah, I heard Iran. Well, apparently it was Hamas, right? And this is the timeline that I have thus far an understanding of. Hamas struck on a Jewish holiday, and they just like did some really uncool shit, and they took a bunch of civilians hostage, and they were just not being great, right? Hamas was not being cool. So Israel responded with pure hellfire 100,000 times over and just tried to basically destroy the entire population. And now Iran is apparently getting,
I feel like
getting in the mix.
Israel and Palestine could get along better if there was some type of like social gather, maybe like a Israeli-Palestinian like dance club, like a luncheon or something like that, like a party, like a somewhere where they can get together and just appreciate each other for human, maybe like a community kickball.
Sometimes I think about making an account on Twitter or X.
Yeah.
And I make the profile picture Jesus, and I meta-verify it, and I come in and I tell them, hey guys, neither of you get this land now.
Neither of you get this land because you've been acting up.
I don't like what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's going to Sweden.
Nobody would have seen that coming.
Yeah. So who are they going to tell? They're going to say no to Jesus Christ. He's verified.
That's a good idea. Nobody's going to know it's not Jesus. Yeah. Also,
get someone in on it to give him the gold check mark. Like,
yes, a gold check mark.
That's the official entity.
Elon Musk, if you're listening, please make a Twitter account or an X account called Jesus. Give it a gold check mark and let it dictate and control issues in the world.
You have the power to end this right now. All you have to do is create Jesus's X account
and just be like, Israel,
the voice of God.
Israel, stop blowing up Gaza.
You shouldn't have done that, Israel. There's no nukes there. Up, Gaza.
God's watching. God's watching. That's a good idea.
So that's my solution. Is I would call upon the higher powers.
Yeah, we should make a social media app, basically where like people can talk to God. Charge $1 a month.
Call it like the confession booth.
Confession booth, yeah.
Except it's a phone, and they dial it, right? And then it just calls us.
It's a sex worker on the other end. You've been a bad boy.
Praise Jesus. That reminds me of a really funny tweet that I saw. Somebody posted, they were like, I'm an atheist at heart. I survived getting shot. I survived cancer. I survived getting one of my lungs taken out. I survived PC. Not once did I pray to God. And then someone responds, yo, you should have.
Oh, I don't get it.
Because he's going through so much bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Like at some point, you probably should have got religious.
Yep.
That was an interesting point that somebody else had made, though. And sometimes I think about that. I forget who, but they were like, yeah, a lot of people only pray to God when they need something and not when things are going good. So every now and then I make a point of just reflecting on some things that I have.
I actually do it every day because there was a point I was like, you know what? I find that I only pray that
Shop Lytle.
Shop Lytle, by the way.
Shop
I would
Lytle.
only pray when I was looking to get something. I was like, that's probably, I need to practice more gratitude.
That's exactly
so
how
every
I
day
felt.
I say, you know, my prayers, which are pretty much gratitude and thanks for this and that.
Exactly.
And I remind myself I have it all. I don't need anything
I started
else.
being like, well, there's not a whole lot I could ask for right now. You know, I just start reflecting on and I'm like, thanks for that. Things are pretty solid so far. So I actually practice that a lot and it just feels right.
Yep.
You know, rather than, because that resonated with me, you know, only sitting there and praying to a higher power, whatever you believe in, only praying to a higher power when you need something.
Yeah.
Like that, if people see right through that, then obviously, you know, so be grateful and reflect every now and then. Let's talk about those Walmart prices. They fucking suck. Shop Lytle.
By the way, Walmart, if Walmart, like the biggest chain in the world, made a jumpsuit like this, that would pop off. Like seriously, this is so sick, and I think that in like 20 years, if this store gets big, these will be like rare collectibles. It's so interesting and like it's so retro. I'm telling you, this is just it. This is cool. This is also good marketing. This shit was all under. This hat was $5. You can't get it.
Tracksuit was like $15.
Socks were $1. Like those are total loss leaders. They're making no money on this, or I'm sure they are because this stuff is.
They're making a lot of money now because they're advertising on the largest podcast in the world because they have great prices, great clothes. Shop Lidl.
And I just want to clarify: we didn't obviously pay for this. This was a brand deal, so like I said, billions of dollars, and the tracksuits were free.
I saw the price tags. That doesn't mean I paid
we didn't
$23.80 for them.
What else happened? I feel like did anything cool happen in my life recently?
Let's see. We're continuing to spec out camera equipment, and making a film can be expensive. I definitely get why. However, it seems expensive but doable. If you're smart and you know what you're doing and you educate yourself and you utilize the technology, you can get by with spending not as much money as people might think you have to. You still have to spend money, you do, but not as much as you have to.
Yeah.
Not as much as people think you have to.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that movies need to be expensive is just kind of like
it's very much fading.
Out there racking up.
I mean, given they're a studio, but there's a company that made an entire animated project on Netflix with Blender.
Yeah. And
Blender's free, and there's people who can do that caliber of work by themselves. The only exchange is time.
What are we at, by the way?
Honestly, I didn't set a timer.
No, just check the iPad. Just press it on the side of the screen.
14,
yeah.
So we have another minute to wrap this up for you guys. Let's talk about the economy. I was actually going through some of my stocks before, and I noticed that, like,
bro, I just cashed out all my crypto, by the way.
It's kind of in the shitter right now.
I mean, it sucks. I could have sold for double months ago, but then it crashed, but I need the money now to make the movie, so I've sold all my crypto. Maybe that'll bite me in the ass, but I'm betting on myself for the movie. And, you know, I hope it works out. It's going to work out.
You get a milli through crypto or a milli through the movie? I'd rather get the milli through the movie. So
it's a bet on myself, though, because the cryptocurrency could tank tomorrow, but this is a bet on me, and I'll always bet on myself and
if crypto tanked tomorrow, then you'd be good to pull out.
I already did, so.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't make shit.
I made money on it. It wasn't what I could have, but I made money. But now I'm shooting in a month.
It was double in January, though. It was like...
Yeah, I know, and it kind of sucks a little bit, but I made money.
Like, it's less than that now. It's like
it's just money.
Yeah, a lot of people get caught up on money, and at the end of the day, I mean, I'm all for investing in yourself. You know, that's what we're doing here, you know. So that is all the time we have. Shop Lidl. That is all the time we have for this podcast, guys.
Lidl.
Thank you so much for watching Shop Lidl. We hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy it. And
don't forget to shop Lidl.
Shop Lidl.